Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Mediatric. So pleased to be here. We continue with our mental health topics, and today we're going to talk about emotions. And it's important we know what emotions are, why are they important, and what kind of emotions do we need to be mindful of, because emotions control our words, they control our actions, they control our thoughts, they control most of our human being as a whole, our dimensions. When it comes to the 5 dimensions of a human being, they're being controlled by our emotions. So it's important when we look at emotions. And when I start, I would like us to discuss what is emotions. And emotions are feelings experienced by humans that drive your words, that drive your thoughts, drive whatever you feel. They can even drive your behavior. So that is how important emotions are. And emotions most times may influence you either positively or negatively. We all have, that is why it is important that we need to look at our emotions. We need to check on our emotions. We need to open our minds and be mindful of our emotions. But most of the times, our emotions will drive us negatively. Most of the times, our emotions will drive us negatively because not all of us are mindful of our emotions. We say that an average person experiences 400 emotions every day, and only 40% of these emotions are strongly into our awareness. When I talk about only 40% are strongly now into our awareness, I mean that only 40% of those 400 emotions of which a person experiences daily, only 40% is the one that someone may easily identify or even become self-aware when it comes to emotions. So when I talk about that, I am meaning that we have emotions like anger, we have emotions like guilt. Guilt is an emotion, denial is an emotion, happiness is an emotion, sadness is an emotion. But most of us, we are mindful of things like anger. We are mindful of things like sadness. We are mindful of happiness. Those are the things mostly we are mindful. I'll go directly into why emotions are important. And number one, we find that emotions connect us with others, includes nonverbal cues. Our bodies are wired by communications. Not all the time. We human beings, we've been created in a way that we are so good with picking people's feelings and emotions rather than their words. So when it comes to emotions, these emotions connect us with other people. For example, I will walk into a place and tell them I'm fine. But how I'm gonna bring that I'm fine, the emotion that I'm gonna bring that, there's a difference between I am fine and I'm fine, and I'm fine. So in those three things, when I just say I'm fine, it can be number one, I'm bored, I don't want any more of the stories. So hey guys, I'm good. So just leave me alone. So that shows that there's something that is eating me up, probably. Or I'm fine. That shows that there's a bit of anger or even bitterness that is wiring out from the inner self of me. So therefore, that someone will pick that, hey, at this point, I don't want to, maybe because of how that I'm fine. I can't even ask her a next question because she'll be like, hey, didn't you get it? I'm fine. Yeah. So these are things that are, and we say that it's through our emotive behavior and our tone, as our minds are designed to read nonverbal cues. Our minds have been designed to read nonverbal cues. That is the tone that you use. Your facial expression will speak a lot more than the words that you speak. So that is number one importance of emotion. It will connect you to people. It will connect you to others. And when I talk about that, I've said it's the nonverbal cues. that can help people either be around you or not to be around you, or feel, I think we need to help so and so because at this point this person really needs help on this in this. Number two thing is emotion enable us to succeed at workplace. When I talk about emotions enable us to succeed at workplace, I mean that people with well-developed emotional skills are more likely to be contented and more effective with their own lives, with their own job, with their own productivity. So when I go to my research, I found out that people who have developed emotional skills are more likely to develop content and mastery of habits in the mind that is faster than their own productivity. People who don't marshal some control over their emotional life fight inner battles, that is very true, that has sabotaged their ability for focused work and clear thoughts. I'll put this example in this way. When I come to work, I'm gloomy. I don't know how to hold my emotions. I have anger issues. For me, I'm a cancer psychologist. When I go and meet a client, and trust me, people will still annoy you, right? And I can't hold my anger. Now, this client talks to me in a way, and I'm like, I can't control my anger, or I can't even control my emotions at that time. This client, number one, has sabotaged my work because I won't be productive. I won't even be effective in that area. I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to do because, number one, emotions are already reading. And even this client, they'll be like, hey, no, I just can't do this session because, number one, you don't look like you are ready to even have a session with me. You don't look like you can hold me. And possibly this client will even be like, no, I think I want to change my counselor because my counselor, when she's angry, it affects me. It affects my whole being. Sometimes a good way of which you're going to deal with it, there's something called therapy. Yeah? So when you bring out your emotions, even people at work will be like, I can't correct so and so because this person can pick offense. And therefore, for that reason, I am not able to control what will come out from them. And since I want peace, I don't want violence, I would choose to keep quiet, keep my corrections to myself. And in that way, someone can't grow because it's through negativity and corrections that we actually grow. If you keep on telling me maybe what you're doing is right, I'll be like, oh, now I think I'm there where I want to be. But then if you keep on telling me, okay, you're doing it right, but then maybe I feel you should do this way. If I'm someone who can control my emotions, trust me, it's easier for you to approach me when it comes to corrections. That is number two. Okay, number three, emotion help us work through compulsions and addictions. Most times in addictions, it is peer pressure that brings us to addiction. It's the stress we claim every day we go through. It is that anger that we can't manage that drives us to use drugs. So even now, we have so many types of addiction, but addiction becomes an addiction when it's a habit. When it has become a habit, it's become a behavior. Because we say that drugs are not the issue, the addictive, the porn site is not the issue. It is your behavior. The gambling, the sport bets, the sport betting, the sport pesa, all those things, they're not the issue. Okay? What is the issue is that behavior. It's that urge that is in you that is driving you to use whatever you're using. And if you can't control your emotions, if you can't sabotage your emotions now, it's gonna ruin you because the compulsions will drive you to an addiction. That is number three. I hope we are together. Number four, emotion help us handle our inner wounds. Because most times, wounds leave an imprint in our brain, and this influences how we see the world and even how we interpret our experiences. The only way we can consciously access the emotional brain is through self-awareness. I'll check on it in-depthly. When I talk that emotion help us handle our inner wounds, all of us, there's been a story behind a story. We're not just the way we are, right? There is a story behind a story of who we are. But then it is us who choose how we can handle our past wounds. Because as I said, the past doesn't define the future, neither does it define the present. But it still matters when you take offense over little things. Let's say, for example, you were raised in an environment where negativity and harshness was the daily bread, where being told you're stupid was a daily thing, where being told you're useless was the daily thing. But now growing up, you get used to it. Now, the emotions you acquired when you're being told whatever you're being told in the past, those emotions are going to determine how you're going to view life in future and even in the present. Are you going to take life positively and tell yourself that, yes, I was told I was useless, but I can be a useful thing. Yes, I was rejected, but I can still be mended. Yes, I was not in touch with anything, but still, I can still get a future out of my future. That is what matters. It is how you handle your emotions that are going to change the perspective of, yes, I can do it in future, or I cannot do it anymore. It all comes back to you as a person. And that is why self-awareness, of which I really feel it's important we look at such kind of topics, we are going to handle it in-depthly. What is self-awareness? Why is self-awareness important? Because when it comes to our emotions, it is important we are aware of our emotions. Number 5 thing why emotions are important is emotions help us. They enable our physical health, exempting from certain illnesses, e.g. anxieties, strength, and depression. When you're aware of such kind of things in your life, like this thing makes me angry, this thing makes me happy, it's easier for you to deal with stresses in your life, deal with depression, to manage anxiety. Emotions are going to send a signal that, hey, where we are going to, where we are driving to, it is not healthy. And therefore, quickly you will check, now that I'm driving on this path and it's not healthy, what should I do so that I can tune back to the life that I'm supposed to tune back in? But at the end of the day, it is important you realize that you can only be the one who can control your emotions, not other people. I cannot control your anger. You or yourself can control your anger. It is up to you to control it, whether you choose to or you choose not to. But at the end of the day, let's realize that our emotions are going to help us to build or destroy. Because nobody wants to work with someone who fumes at the mention of anything wrong that they have done, or who justifies whatever thing they have done. Because if you justify, you're not going to be corrected. Because people will be like, so and so doesn't take corrections positively. Now what do? I should leave it. And at the end of the day, you continue drowning because your bad flows, as much as you're supposed to make them better, and you don't want to realize it and you're not open, people will still keep a distance. And what does it do to you? Your emotions can ruin you. And that is why we told you, I was saying at the start of this topic that emotions can develop you positively or negatively. But at the end of the day, you can choose on which way, you can choose on which path you would like the emotions to take you to. In case of any question, you can drop your questions, your comments. I'm hoping that very soon you're gonna be linking live. It's been quite of a hassle getting to organize myself and get back on feet. But I'm happy when we do 1, 2, 3. And remember, this is still the World Suicide Prevention Month. So check out on your friends, holler at them, listen to them. It is okay not to be okay. It is okay not to be okay. So I'm gonna leave you with a quote that I read somewhere. It says that your competition is not other people. Your competition is your own procrastination, the knowledge that you are neglecting, the unhealthy food that you are eating, your oversized ego. Compete with that. Don't compete with other people. Compete with your procrastination. Compete with the negligence of knowledge. Compete with the unhealthy food you're acquiring. Watu tunapenda chipo. Compete with your oversized ego. Compete with that. Don't compete with other people. Stick to that. Till next time, have a blessed weekend. Bye.